1,500 miles. On foot, without a map, without anyone who knows the way. A cat did that, in 1952, and science has confirmed it. Not 1 meter less, not one wrong turn, direct path to the goal. But what occupies me even more than the distance is what comes after. Because it explains something many of us think at night, but never say out loud. If a cat finds her way back like this in life, what stops her after death? Absolutely nothing, and I'll show you why. I'll show you the science behind sugar. I'll show you what biologically enables cats to find humans. And in the end, I'll ask you a question that I haven't been able to shake off myself. Petra from Freiburg told me her story. It hasn't passed. Her cat Kira had passed away, and a few months later, Petra heard something at the door. But first, sugar. Because sugar changes everything, if you really look at it. 1952, Stacy and her husband are moving from California to Oklahoma. Sugar is left behind with neighbors in California. The journey is too far for her. 14 months later, Stacy is standing in the garden of her new house in Oklahoma. A cat jumps over the fence to her. Stacy blinks and freezes. It was Sugar, no other cat. How? 1,500 miles. Straight across unknown territory. Alone. In 14 months. Scientists examined Sugar, based on a bony growth on her hip. Unique. Unmistakable. 100% confirmation. It really was Sugar. How did she do that? Science gives answers, but not all of them. Cats have magnetite crystals in their brains, identical to what migratory birds have. Birds use these crystals to navigate by the Earth's magnetic field. They fly precisely across continents. Cornell University has proven cats have the same ability, the same inner compass. They feel the magnetic field of the Earth, an internal compass that never turns off. That explains how Sugar might have found the general direction. But, and now comes the decisive but. Magnetoreception explains the direction, it doesn't explain the destination. Stacy had never been to Oklahoma with Sugar. Oklahoma was completely unknown to Sugar. No magnetic field tells her, your owner is exactly right there now. No compass does that. Then comes the second explanation, the VOC theory. Volatile organic compounds. Every human has a unique chemical signature, generated by the body itself. Not perfume, not soap, the invisible trail you leave everywhere. This signature is as unique as a fingerprint, and it doesn't fade quickly. Cats have 200 million olfactory receptors. Humans have 5 million. They track VOC signatures over long distances through air currents and ground contact. Sugar followed this trail, over the driest soils, through rain and heat. But even that doesn't explain everything. Because air doesn't carry smells 1,500 miles. That's physics. Something is still missing. Kyoto University confirmed something amazing in 2022. Cats have episodic-like memory, something like a cinematic memory. They don't just remember habits. They remember specific moments. The face, the movement, the smell after a long day at work. Sugar had 14 months, and a collection of memories that no animal simply erases. Memories of Stacy, of what it was like to be with her, of the pull of this connection. These memories were the engine behind every step of this incredible journey. Magnetic field gives the direction. Smell pulls you close. Memory takes the last step. Now we return to Petra. And to the part that really occupies me. Kira's body is gone, but the phantom remains. This is initially neuroscience. The brain continues to process cat signals after the death of a cat. Sounds that aren't there, movements in the periphery, purring right before sleep. The brain searches for what it knows, even when the mind says, she is gone. Petra told me that she heard Kira's footsteps in the hallway 3 times in the first week, every time around 3 a.m. Exactly the time when Kira always wanted her food. Is that the brain? Yes, probably. But what triggers the specific pattern? A 2023 study in the Netherlands documented the following. 68% of all surveyed cat owners report they have felt the presence of their cat. Not as a scare, as a companionship, as something warm that briefly returns. This is not a pathology. This is one of the most common grief experiences of all. And here is what really makes me think. If 68% have this experience, what really causes it? The brain alone doesn't explain the specificity, the time, the weight, the smell. Phantom explains general presence. It explains no details the brain doesn't even know. Unless something is still sending signals. Something that is still there in some form. In German there is a difference that other languages don't know well. Ghost, that causes fear. That disturbs. That won't let go. Soul companion, that is something else. Something warm. Something that protects. The experience with deceased cats falls without exception into the second category. Nobody has ever reported being afraid of the presence of their cat. Not one. Kira didn't scare Petra. She accompanied her. You feel the difference immediately. This is not a cultural construct. This is a universal human experience. 80% of all people who have lost a beloved animal report this at least once. Not explained, not pathological, simply not yet fully understood. And that brings me back to sugar. And to the question I want to ask you. If a living cat finds her way across 1,500 miles through the unknown, then not because of magnetic fields alone, not because of smell alone, then because of something we can't yet fully capture in formulas. Let's call it will, let's call it love, let's call it bond. All of these are words for the same thing, something that doesn't stop just because the body stops. Petra told me at the end, I stopped looking for an explanation. I started to listen to the signs. That is the difference. Not waiting passively, listening actively, with the same patience that cats taught us. Sugar found Stacy, not because she had to, because she wanted to. And if the will is stronger than 1,500 miles of unknown territory, what is it stronger than afterwards? Where would your cat run to come back to you? Not the dead question. Where is she? But the living one. Which path would she choose? Which path would she take, if she could determine the path herself? I bet you already know the answer. You just felt it, while you were listening to this.